Hey, this is the discussion board for COAD 6411. For the first question, what service resources do these professional organizations offer? A lot of them offered more information about just the counseling field in general. There were a lot of associations um, that we could join. These associations offer different benefits to joining each one of them, including like reduced copays for um, if you wanted to go to one of their events that they put on, and as well, a lot of them provided network opportunities and ways that you could showcase your work at them. On other ones, for example, the Council for Accreditation of Counseling and Related Education Programs gave details about the accreditation process and how that works. I thought it was really interesting because I wasn't too familiar with how going about becoming accredited at a college works. So it was kind of nice to learn that process and why it's important. The National Board of Certification gave a lot of information about the licensure process, and I'll go a bit into question two, but I found this the most helpful for me, just learning how the whole process works. I just knew you had to take a test, but I didn't know the ins and outs of it as well. So, what did you find most interesting and helpful? The professional website I found most beneficial was the National Board of Certified Counselors one. Um, I just really didn't understand how that process worked and how um, going about taking the test worked. As well, the website itself had a lot of online resources that would be just useful to know and go to if you needed to study or look back on notes to review to prepare for the test. Some of them cost some money. There were started at like $35 and ranged to 50, so it wasn't too expensive for something that could help you get your licensure. Um, Also, you could find other licensed counselors in the state. So if you ever had any questions, it was kind of useful and cool. But you could go find had a giant map of the United States, and you could go to different areas and regions and click on North Carolina, for example, and you could look up different licensed counselors. And I thought that was kind of interesting because it gave you just an idea of where the most counselors kind of are and what area they live in. So that was pretty interesting to me as well. And it just gave a lot of information that I didn't know and I think is really helpful for the future. For the last question, um, an important activity that all counselors should participate are in professional conferences. One of the most accessible, go back to the website. What did you find interesting and how would you participate in the upcoming conferences? So by going back and looking at past conferences, I found out that in 2015 at the North Carolina Counseling Association, Dr. Dotson Blake won an award for administrator of the year. And I thought that was kind of cool and interesting to see, and that our professors are getting recognized for their work. As well, Dr. Crow presented on an overcoming stigmas in domestic violence in 2013. So she was there participating also, which is just encouraging for us to go out and participate them and as well. It'd be one thing to just say like, hey, you should go do professional conferences, and then they never did them. But since they're participating, it definitely is more encouraging to go to them and participate. As well, there was past presentation material that I found online. So if you ever missed one and you wanted to know what happened, you could download it from Dropbox and you could look at the past events that were talked about so you could kind of be in the loop even though you may not have been there to be physically present. To participate, you just register online at the website. However, it's not up yet. It will become available later this fall, so it's definitely something worth checking back into to see how affordable it is and um, to learn more about going. Registration. You can also, they have set hotels for counselors at the 21C Museum Hotel if you ever wanted to go in and look at getting a room from the block that they've reserved. So maybe it might be fun and kind of nice to stay near one where everyone's presenting, but also be with counselors as well. If you hear my cat's at the door trying to get in, but those are my 3 answers for those questions. Bye.